And congrats on the win. I guess first of all, just curious just how you felt about the match, and also was obviously you played her almost exactly a month ago, and you kind of talked about it the other day. But how different do you feel like as a player in just a month, given how much you played?
Thank you. I think I've come a long way with my game since we last played. I mean, I knew Zhang Shuai, she is an extremely experienced player, and that experience showed last time. And I have so much respect for her because of the level that I had to maintain to just keep winning points against her. And she's a really, really nice girl, and we get on very well off court. So, and especially at the end of the match as well, she was very nice at the net. And so I'm just really pleased to have been able to maintain such a high level today throughout the match. And yeah, I think being on tour week in, week out and playing so many matches definitely helps in understanding what it takes to just repeat the level.
Can you compare what's happening here to what did happen at Wimbledon, and do you think maybe your performances have been even better on the hard?
Thank you. I think in terms of tennis-wise, I'm playing better and better with each match that I'm playing, and especially on the hard courts, like it's different to grass. So with each match, I'm gaining experience. I don't think it's really comparable because I'm just taking it one match at a time and just focusing on what I have to do with each point. Because as soon as like you get ahead of yourself and start thinking ahead, then yeah, that's where you get distracted and sidetracked. So I'm just focusing on the day and yeah, taking it one match at a time.
Hi, Emma. Stuart Fraser from the Times. I just wondered if last night's weather had any impact on your preparations whatsoever. I know, like, some of us here were getting alerts from our phones and stuff all throughout the night. And then some of the players had trouble getting on site this morning with the transport. Did it cause you any problems whatsoever?
Well, this morning it took us 90 minutes to get in from the hotel, so it was kind of like a bit of a rush with the warm-ups, but I mean, we were like, I mean, just prepared for it, and we knew something was going to happen after the weather last night. I just, yeah, I hope everyone was staying safe, and I hope nothing bad happened to anyone.
Emma, I think I'm right in saying from Wimbledon that you're someone who sort of does your own scouting in a way of opponents, or you like to do your own homework, so to speak. I just wondering, is that correct? Is my memory correct on that? And therefore, looking ahead, will you be studying videos and stuff tomorrow?
Yeah, I think everyone has their strengths in their game, and I think one of mine is just being mentally quite sharp. So I think that my preparation is key in my game, and it's probably one of my biggest weapons. So I've always done it, and it's something that's really helped me. And yeah, I'll definitely be, just coming up with a plan with my team and myself.
Hi Emma, you started so well. You were in control really until 4-love in the second. How kind of nervous did you get, or did you get nervous when she won the 3 games in a row? And was that the most pleasing thing in some ways, that you managed to finish so strongly?
That match meant so much to me on just like a personal level. I think that I wanted to win so bad, and it's always tough when you're set up and you're leading 4-love in the second as well. And yeah, but I knew that it was going to be adversity at some point in the match. And honestly, I was 6-2 4-love up, but I was having to work so hard for every single point, and the games, they were very long and challenging. So, I mean, the scoreline was saying one thing, but the level of tennis that we were both playing, I think it was suggesting a complete different story. And yeah, it didn't really bother me that she came back, because I knew that she's a great player. She's extremely experienced. She's going to throw everything she had at me. So I'm just very proud of myself for overcoming that and managing to close it out at the end.
To Diane, is that what you said? Yes. Thanks. Well, I think I'm right in saying that you haven't dropped a set since you started playing in New York, all the way through qualifying and today. Do you think you're on a hot streak? Do you think tennis players have hot streaks?
I think part of it is just with each match you grow in more confidence in your game and yourself, and I've had 5 matches here in New York, so I feel very comfortable with the conditions and the courts, so I'm just getting more and more used to it, and each round I feel like I'm going for my shots more, and today I think that was evident. I think I've come a very long way since my first qualifying match here, but also since the first tournament of this trip 5 weeks ago. I think, yeah, playing at the tour level for so many weeks in a row just definitely builds your confidence. And I've been fortunate enough to win quite a few matches.
Hi, I just wanted to ask a bit more about different opponents. How much do you change your game when you go into a match according to the opposition, or how much do you go in with the attitude, I'm going to play my game and the opponent will just have to deal with me?
I think there are elements of both. At this level, it's not like no one really has a weakness. You can't just go into one side expecting for a mistake. So I think you really just have to take your game to the opponent. But I think there's always some small loopholes that you can find and certain discomforts. And that's something that I just try and expose, really. And that's what the homework I do hopefully highlights. But it doesn't always. And sometimes you just have to go out there and play and strike the ball. And I think today was one of those days, Zhang Shuai didn't have a weakness. I just had to take the ball to her and dictate play.
Thanks. Hi. I don't know if you noticed this, but when you're actually serving out for the game, there was somebody banging a drum. It was like a band near the court. Were you aware of that, or were you sort of completely locked in and in the zone?
Yeah, I heard that. I wasn't sure if it was coming from the court or from outside, but I couldn't see anyone with a drum while I was on the court, so I think it was coming from outside. It was like quite loud. But I sort of twisted my mind into thinking they were supporting for me, and it helped in the end.
I am Howard Fenrich with the AP. I wanted to ask if you could point to something in particular that you think you learned during your time at Wimbledon that is helping you succeed at this next Grand Slam tournament. What would you say that would be?
What did you say? I'm sorry, learned where?
Something that you learned during your time at Wimbledon this year that is helping you here during your next trip to a Grand Slam tournament.
Yeah, I think Wimbledon, it just taught me how physical I had to be for every single match, and at the end it was my physicality that let me down. And I think but that was my first tournament on the tour at such a high level. So now, having played maybe 4 or 5 weeks, I'm still extremely fresh and new to the whole situation. But I think given the matches that I've played, I am able to keep up a lot more physically. And I think that's definitely the biggest standout thing in my game that is going to take me far or is going to limit me.
Hi, Emma. Congratulations on your win today. It's Klaus from Der Spiegel in Germany. Emma, sadly, I cannot follow your matches from on site, but what I can see from the screen is that you kind of enjoy these smaller courts, and after the matches, you do signing autographs and doing selfies. And how important is this, close connection to fans? And then second question, how keen are you on playing the bigger courts now?
Yeah, it means I'm extremely grateful for all the support I've been receiving here in the States. I mean, honestly, it's taken me a bit by surprise, but I'm so grateful for everyone who's cheering for me. And of course, I really want to connect with the fans and people watching, and because they're doing so much for me as well. Getting me through some really, really tight moments. I think me signing and taking photos is absolutely nothing compared to what they're doing. So I think 100% it's extremely important because they connecting with them. I have so much fun, especially the younger kids. I mean, seeing them, they're so cute, and I hope that they can get a little bit inspired. And also the bigger courts. I played on court 1, which was probably the biggest court I've ever played on, and I was honestly loving it there. The support I received at Wimbledon at the home crowd, it definitely pulled me through some tight moments, and I was really loving it, just playing off of their energy. And having so much support, it definitely helps you. And maybe, I don't know, we'll see what courts I get put on here, but I'm ready to play on anything. Even the park at the back, P17.
Bearing in mind what you were just saying about it's difficult to compare playing at Wimbledon to here, but in one sense, is it easier to play here, to play away from the UK, which obviously has all that added pressure and focus of attention that you're able to relax a little bit more when you're playing away from the UK?
I don't think that there was any pressure over Wimbledon. I think that all of the support and, well, not attention, but all of the support and just cheering I was getting was helping me more than anything. Like, I didn't feel in any way that I was like burdened at all. I was just so appreciative and grateful. So I don't think at all like it's easier to play here than at Wimbledon. The home crowd, there's nothing that compares to playing in front of a home crowd at Wimbledon. For me, like, that's definitely just the pinnacle of tennis. But I absolutely love it here in the States, and the crowd have made me feel so at home and so welcome here in the States. So I'm really, really grateful.